Hello friends, this is Ella, your friendly advisor in Ireland. Welcome back to my channel, All Over to Ireland. In this video, I'm going to talk about something really important for all the people out there who are purchasing houses. It feels really important at the start, but as you go through the process, it becomes very stressful. Once you get the keys, you feel elated, but yet you'll have few stories to talk about for next 2 months based on your buying timeline. Right. So it's really not an easy process in Ireland to buy a house. The most difficult part is to get the house to buy, which really is becoming difficult day by day. Fewer estates, and there are a lot of second-hand houses, fewer first-hand houses. People are not able to use STBs. People are forfeiting STBs to buy a second-hand house because there are a lot of people who are selling their, second-hand properties. Anyways, the current market is really bad. It has become worse since I bought this house. I hope it recovers faster. And the other news is the government of Ireland has, eased a lot of restrictions. Hope there'll be a lot of meetups now, but I still would tell you, be careful. It's not easy to get COVID. Luckily, I did not contract. I'm crossing my fingers so that I don't contract it. Yeah, without further ado, let's just dive in. I'll go through four real examples of the purchase timelines, two each, two for new build, two for secondhand, and all four were in four different situations. The first example is mine. I started looking for a house in January 2021. I got my stamp 4 in that month, and my wife got her contract extended. So I already planned for it since July 2020. So I had 6 months of savings in BOI mortgage saver account. I was good with that. I had 10% required amount, including HTB. I applied for HTB. I got 17K change in HTB. And then I applied for AIP at KBC through a mortgage broker at Bank of Ireland directly. The advisor at Bank of Ireland was someone I got to know through my previous firm because of the bank virtual meetups. So it was easy to deal with him. KBC took more than 2 weeks to get the AIP, and Bank of Ireland, I got it in 2 days. I was surprised because of the advisor. So January, I had my savings, I had HDB, I had AIP. So I started looking for houses. I got to got opportunity at Mullen Park back then, Parkland West, offsales, Lipslick, Bonhallwell, yeah, and then Newcastle. I didn't get a chance in Graydon, but I got a new build in Newcastle Manor Park. So I had opportunities, and I selected the first house I actually viewed because it's spacious, has bigger rooms, and it's end of terrace, which I wanted. I wanted semi-D or end of terrace, but yeah, that I wanted. So I selected the house around mid-Feb, and immediately went sale update. As soon as we saw the house, and we thought for 2 days, and we put the money in, and even after putting money in, we saw for other houses if we can get better houses, but we didn't. So selected the houses, and the builder took some time to send the contracts to solicitor. We selected a solicitor immediately, and mid-March we had offer letter. We done valuation of the house, 150 euros, which the bank does. So you pay the bank. We had contracts and done. So we thought, okay, by end of April we'll move into new house. So we snagged in the first week of April. We got wiring done for alarms because the builder said, that's a mandatory step before we go ahead and have funds released and close. And because of few documents, what was supposed to be done, by end of April went on to June. But again, we requested to release funds in May 2021. That's one of the mistakes which we did. The funds got released almost a month before we actually moved in. So I paid interest on the mortgage. On the mortgage without really being in the house. And I got the loan statement the other day. I lost close to 928 euros. But again, make sure that you release or request for releasing of funds only when you're close to closing date and have a closing date from the builder. We did not have a closing date from the builder. Builder said within a week we'll close, but they took 4 weeks. So just be careful with that. So in the first week of June, we got the keys, the funds which were released and were sitting in my solicitor's account were transferred to the builder, and the estate agent was very kind enough to come first to us, give the keys right away. So we had our keys. We moved into house 8 days later. We had a small housewarming. Yeah, since then I'm staying in the house. It seems good. So yeah, this was my timeline. Now I'll go to the other one, which my friend went through it. Right, my friend, he had savings, he had AIP at the same time as me. He applied for HDB in Feb because there was some issue with revenue back then. So it took him long to get his STB, and he selected a half sales house. Half sales is basically of the plan. They sell it, and the house is not yet constructed, right? And then he went sale agreed. He was fine to wait for more days because he was like, he'll save more money and have more money once he moves in. And then he selected the solicitor. He got the evaluation done. He got the offer letter from the bank. He signed the contracts in April, so he had some more money by the contract signing. So the 10% was sorted. And then, as the house is not yet constructed, right? He bought off the plan sales or off sales plan, whatever. So till October, he did not have the house for snagging. So he got snagged in October. He also was supposed to do wiring for alarms. He did that, and he requested for funds release in November. He got closing done in, got the keys. So if you see, for him it took 12 months. For me, it took 6 months, because in my case, I already had the house. In his case, he bought it off the plan, so the house was not yet there. There were delays with respect to construction of house because of a non-availability of some of the subcontractors. So it took him longer. They promised him keys in October, but it got delayed by 2 months. Even in my case, I was promised by October, so April, but my plan got delayed by 4 weeks. So things do happen. For one of the other friend, I did not take his example because he was in my example, and he got done within 3 months, right? So it depends case to case. If you're buying in estates where the houses are built and launched, so within 3 months you probably can go from AIP to closing, and it also depends when you're getting AIP to. You need to get lucky to get to see the house immediately after you get AIP. That's highly impossible now, but luckily I got it, but my delay was something else. So there'll be delays. From my experience, if you're buying a new house which is already constructed, 6 months is a worst timeline that we can imagine. Best timeline would be 3 months. Of the sales, best would be 8 months. Worst would be 12 to 14 months. Okay. Next comes the second-hand house purchase. This is immediate sales. It means that they do not have tenant and the house is good to go. They primarily look for cash buyers, but they are, people like us also get lucky sometimes. So this person who I know got his savings done, and he went through mortgage broker in July 2021. He got his AIP in August, and he went sale agreed. He saw a house in August. He liked it. It was close to city center. He went sale agreed right away because there were no tenants, and he was expecting the process to be done faster. And then in September, he got the house surveyed. The owner is in different counties, so they need to travel. They were busy during the weekdays because of work, so everything was done over weekend. So there was little delay here because of that. Otherwise, he would have got the keys in October itself. But even then, it's a really short timeline. He got things done within 3 months. So offer letter was signed in September, and then in October, he got sorry for that, but he signed the contracts in October, and in November he had case. The offer letter he got in September itself, at the end of September. Sorry for repeating that, but yeah, if you see, he actually saw the house in August. He got the keys in first week of November, so it's less than 3 months, and he did not really stress out about the purchase because there were no tenants in the house. Now, what happens if you have tenants in the house? That is my next example. If you have tenants, or if the house is in deadlock situation, things get longer. It can take long time. This is another friend, a good friend. He saw the house in Kingswood, I guess. Yeah, he had his savings. He had the AIP in May 2021, and he found a house where he want to purchase because it's close to his and his partner's workplace. So they went sale agreed. They knew that there are tenants in the house, and the tenants had 4 months of notice because of the RTP rules. But the problem with tenants is they may leave in 4 months, or they may never leave, and they may cause trouble. So purchasing the house with tenants is the hardest part. But again, he took the risk. So as it's not closer to key date, he and the owner agreed that they will wait for a few months. So in September, when the tenants had just 1 month to leave, he got the house surveyed. The valuation was done. He applied for AAP again because his AAP expired, and then he got a new offer letter. He signed contracts. In October, the tenants were out. He got the valuation done again. When I asked him, why did you get valuation again? They said the bank wanted another valuation to be done because it's a second-hand house. I did not really understand the part, but he got valuation done twice. One before offer letter, one after offer letter, just before funds release. And he got the funds released in October, end of October. In the first week of November, he had keys and the closing was done. He's happy with the house. The tenants left the house in a proper manner. In most cases, the tenants would destroy the house. Not in most cases, in some cases. Depends on the person too, right? So it's high risk, but luckily he had everything smooth. And if you're going for this, you should look at the area, look at the people, look at the owner, how the house is maintained. How much amount would you spend on a second-hand house to renovate and stuff. So those are the additional costs which I did not include here because those fall somewhere in the timeline, and based on your situation, they may occur, may not occur. You may do it after usually the renovation happens after getting keys, unless if the house is empty and you have contract signed and the existing owner is fine, you making the changes, then yeah, but that's again a risk. I wouldn't suggest to do that. I would suggest any changes to the house to be done only after you get keys. Yeah, these are the 4 examples of the timelines. Hope you like it. As I said, there are a few thumb rules, but it may not be true in everyone's case. But I try to cover it at higher level based on 4 different cases, which primarily occurs in the market. If you have any questions, you can write to me at allaboutireland247@gmail.com. If you have any career-related questions, you can write at connect@careerireland.com. That's it from my end. Hope you have a nice weekend. Talk to you soon.